This is not the time to be joking around, Agent Morgan.
Dr. Usha is below with the deceased. With Anna. Below being underground, I take it. Simple. Simple.
Below. Below means
Never
underground.
interfere
And it's
with my
time
mystery.
to meet the mischievous architect of this little game.
Never interfere with my exposition. My exposition is very important.
I care not for women. I care for mysteries.
He's like a really like shit. Like if Tommy Wiseau did Sherlock Holmes, you know, kind of way, or like if Neil Breen did Sherlock Holmes. This is how this character would end up.
Just be kind of a.
Kind
I
of
don't
a
want to say
prick
lunatic
again.
because they're already a lunatic, but
Yeah. Like
like,
he's
this
like
is a
equal
man
measure
with like a
equal-
singular focus to solve the puzzle, do
Yeah.
the mystery, and then find the next one.
Pretty much, yeah. Like it's more of a case of like he's like equal measures like douche and equal like measures like lunatic. So it's a case like which one is actually more like in balance at the moment, you know?
Between douche and lunatic.
Pretty much, yeah. Douche
Will
is-
I say nonsense because I'm insane, or will I say nonsense because I'm an asshole?
That's where the lines are getting blurred here, folks.
That is
Between
some
reality and-
goddamn jerk gently tier nonsense. And
Yes.
I did not care for jerk gently. I dislike when. Okay, you might be trying to be smart about this, but I kind of see it as you've derived a premise to accommodate the laziest writing imaginable.
This for what again? Sorry, I didn't catch it the first
Jerk
time.
gently.
All right, yeah. But we're here now
Yes.
with the key card that we found ourselves because we're big boys and we're grown ups. We can do these things.
That, and we have a mystery boner.
That too. Whenever you have a puzzle like that, we just go, haha, mystery boner activated.
And that'll get us nice and fluffed for this autopsy investigation.
Indeed.
This
Just when
mystery
you
is
said
like
that, I just-
far too straightforward
not
to
like-
come to climax already, but
Yeah.
it's just enough to get us in the mood.
Over the line, as it were.
Jesus fucking Christ! Someone stop me! I help!
Welcome to Deadly Premonition. And now, here's the doctor.
Usha, sorry to keep you waiting.
Oh, this
Ah,
this
you
one
made
doesn't
it.
have an evil beard.
Let's get started, shall we?
He has a goatee.
That's barely adequate.
This is Agent Morgan from the FBI.
He's a cool doctor.
Nice to meet you. I'm Usha Johnson, the doctor in this hospital.
FBI Special Agent Francis.
Look at my
York.
badge. I'm special.
Please call me York. Everyone calls me that.
Isn't the sheriff
Very
calling you
well,
Morgan or
Agent
something?
York.
Yeah, to wind you up.
Are you a forensic practitioner?
Let's just say I've dealt with corpses before.
So no.
That
I
doesn't
kill a
look
lot of
like
people.
that. Did you create that yourself?
I am
just wanted
the
to
only
see if
doctor
our
in
FBI
town.
agent could
And
handle the
when
task.
the chief said
see.
we've
Well,
only
that
got
was
like a
pretty
10
fun.
people left,
Glad you liked it.
that's mostly because of me.
He's like,
I
so you're
was
the-
convinced
you
my,
don't
my,
have much
my
time.
procedure of amputating the lungs
You
when
need
someone had a
those
cold
autopsy
would work.
results.
So you're the only doctor in town, Mr. Johnson? Well, yes, but I'm a doctor of history, but no one seems to have noticed.
Next time, try challenging us without obstructing an investigation. You've angered the monarch.
Oh god, he's such a dork. I love it.
From the onset of rigor mortis, the stiffening of the muscles, the time of death is estimated to be between 20 and 2200 hours. That's still quite early for such a crime to
It's
take
like,
place.
yeah, it's fine with you jerking us
Note
because
that
it's
there are
fun.
2 exterior wounds. Pressure
Part of the
marks
investigation.
around the neck, and a long cut running from chest to abdomen. Blood marks on her right hand tell us she was gripping something round in her right hand.
I noticed there that there's a scar on the sheriff's face as well, which is odd.
Her skull is also fractured, but that is unrelated to the cause of death. It probably happened to her after she was killed.
Not sure you'd know that, but fair enough. Apart from the bleeding, I guess.
Now, I first thought death by
Like,
suffocation.
if she has like a fractured skull,
due
but
to the
no
marks
blood
on her neck.
spilling out,
Yeah,
and
but
that
that's what I'm
probably wasn't
assuming.
bleeding.
I now have a different conclusion. The direct cause of death was loss of blood from the wound.
So you said she bled out to death. She was alive during the entire disembowelment.
Which means she was cut up while she was still alive.
Yes, a sharp knife was used. It was inserted beneath the sternum and then quickly sliced downwards. The excessive loss of blood from her internal organs is what actually killed her.
I think this is at this
Her
point someone's
nails
supposed to
are
run out
clean,
and get sick.
And with no skin cells from the attacker. She also doesn't appear to have been bound nor badly beaten. She was apparently killed without resistance.
Interesting.
The most tragic thing, however, was that she was unable to speak her story to anyone who could hear her cries.
I see our doctor also likes metaphors.
The perpetrator cut out Anna's tongue.
Well, I believe she was drugged first to phase her consciousness.
If only there was
and
some sort of
then
like
the killer
post-mortem technique we could use to prove that.
And then the
But then
killer
again, I'm
killed
just-
her.
killed. The killer most likely had
Yeah, killer
a
killed her.
traumatized past concerning women. He probably cannot converse with them normally.
As a forensic practitioner, you have no way of
So just
sussing
a
this
very
out.
lonely individual.
Like, we're very sort of
Either
doctors
that
and medical
or a
experts. We
true
kind of have to do like
hardcore
cover
sadist.
multiple jobs.
He's a medical expert. He's not a criminal profiler.
He must get off on
Yeah,
watching
and I
women
thought
suffer.
you like the
especially
puzzle
when
was
they can't
useful,
answer
but
back.
it's like you can scream if you have your
He
vocal
watched
cords,
as
right?
the blood pumped from her body.
Yeah, like the
As
tongue,
he
like
gradually grew
yeah,
cold.
exactly. If you wanted to,
A
you
case
can still
in
scream
Seattle
out
in
basically. You just that you
1985
couldn't
was
say
much
anything.
Usha, please, limit your report to your findings as a doctor.
Oh,
Criminal profiling is my job.
I love that.
You're wrong, also.
Like,
Anna died fully, deeply, painfully aware of what was happening to her.
But,
Tell me, what time did it stop raining on the night Anna was killed?
Just before I went to bed.
This is kind of
right
like a
after
Sherlock
the
Holmes
movie on
moment where he's
TV
just like
ended,
really
so
intensely answering the
around
questions.
1 a.m.
What movie was it?
An American Werewolf in London.
Directed by John Landis, 1981. So the rain stopped, accompanied by the ending song, Blue Moon. George, would you mind if I examined Anna myself?
What more do you hope to find?
I love that that was completely pointless. That had no reason to. That they didn't
I'm sure
reason
I
into the
mentioned
plot at
that I
all.
have a personal interest in cases like these.
He literally just has like a neurotic knowledge of movies. And now we're examining the body. A relief shaped like a peace mark. Okay.
yeesh.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to observe this, but like you remove the blanket, but you can't really show that in the video game because it's
Hmm.
fairly fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty gruesome. This is the doctor. Well, alright then. If you say so, game. Right, so that was basically it, just looking around the body, see what you can find. So now let's him do the work.
From her lack
Okay.
of resistance, I'd say that Anna's injuries happened very quickly. Unable to speak, she was then left to cry herself to death.
Zach, it's all starting to come together.
The perpetrator stayed with her for at least 2 hours until it stopped raining. At the estimated time of her death, it was still raining, but you can still see tear marks on her cheeks. That means she was killed under a roof somewhere. She was then carried into the woods after it stopped raining.
There's one other thing. Her tongue was removed with a very blunt knife. In fact, it's more likely it was simply chopped off.
With a meat cleaver, maybe.
Asha, are you a passionate man?
Well, not particularly, but I am man enough should the moment call for it.
George, how about you?
All right, then.
I'm very passionate. Yes. Especially when it comes to women. But I don't see what that has to do with anything.
George, the perpetrator is just like you. He's passionate about women. He's a passionate kisser. This was a kiss of death.
The perpetrator bit off Anna's tongue.
We'll never get a dental print from a wound like this. But this is still a big lead.
Bear in mind, they'd have to be like razor sharp teeth to actually like cut the tongue in that sense.
I mean, yeah, but that's fairly fucked up.
Yeah. And it gets better.
Jackpot, Zach. Shame, but our old-time all-American sightseeing tour just came to an end.
This case is now under the jurisdiction of the FBI. I'm assuming command. I'll need you to assist me in the investigation.
So the reason he knows so much about what's happened here is because it's a serial killing, and he's been investigating it for some time.
I did this.
That's not why I'm assuming command, George. You're a suspect just as much as every other passionate man on Earth. Let me show you something.
There you go. That's why he's here. Check that shit out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. A series of 3.
There you go. Amazing, huh? I'm sure you have a lot of questions, but most of the details are top secret. George, Emily, we should be going. No need to stay here any longer.
Okay. I have to sign the release. Just
You
give
didn't
me
leave
a
me there.
moment.
I'll go on ahead. I can't take it any longer down here.
York out.
Bishop takes queen. His rook takes your queen. Then your knight takes rook. And checkmate.
I've also upgraded your chess puzzle for next time, Dr. Johnson. he was playing a chess game with the computer.
My first victory in the Grandmaster ranking.
So yeah, that's his like Sherlock Holmes moments. Basically, it was just like, yeah, I actually am quite good as a detective. I'll have you know. So
It's like the FBI doesn't actually hire lunatics. We're actually very fucking good at what we do, and we
Yeah.
all develop all really fucked up code mechanisms because this is our day. And oh dear,
relapse.
Zach, they're here.
We'll stop
Yeah.
it right there at 2 hours.
like this is a good point. We've got some insight into this particular character,
yes.
so I'm gonna pause my end.
Yeah, you can pause on your end. Yeah. So I
So,
paused.
okay, that is some insights.
Yeah. What? So your first 2 hours of Deadly Premonition. What's your thoughts?
Well, I'm expecting weird, and it's fairly weird, and mostly because he left the fucking packets of those clue things there, which seems odd. But I wouldn't be surprised if that was just like a visual error and he still has them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's just, yeah. There's a purpose of the scene.
Yeah. And it was coming off as this disjointed lunatic up until the moment where, you know what, yeah, he's actually very good at what he does. Intelligent, incredibly observant.
Almost like a very like obscene level as well.
The kind of person that is actually just working 3 or 4 moves ahead of you and is like seems crazy to dumber people.
I think that's why he sounds really disjointed to us as well, because like we're trying to keep up with him, and I was thinking like, what the fuck are you talking about? But as a character, he's been through this before like multiple times. If that is the case, and he's investigating serial killings, so like, again, the clue there is that like, well, there's 3 petals in each bag, so that's assuming there's maybe 2 more to come. So yeah, I think like you can kind of like, if you did like try to like anticipate what's going on, you can move on the same level as York does, or you could just sit back and enjoy the ride and let the game play out. It's entirely up to yourself.
Yeah, as well, fact is this is all traumatizing for everybody else, but this is his day job. This is literally his profession that he has clearly been doing for a while.
Yeah, and he loves it, and he has fun in it, spending all that money. All that FBI money. So, but
apparently, there's a reason he gets paid the big bucks.
Supposedly so, eh? It's funny how that works, isn't it? But nevertheless, we will. Yeah, so we're going to leave it here for Deadly Premonition for this time, and when we come back, we'll be watching some more of it. So
I'm intrigued.
Good. That was that. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that the first impression has been successful. So. So we'll see what happens in the next part.
Indeed, it has. I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
Because I am sold.
Great. I'm actually quite happy to hear that. I think you're going to enjoy this game, and I promise not to play too much of it so that we can actually play it in person at some point this year, so we can both enjoy it for what it is. So. Until that point, lads, thank you very much for watching this part. We'll be back with more very, very soon on the channel. But for now, good night, Mr. York. Doesn't really work, does it? No. We'll have to go with something
appropriate. Like, I'm going to think in the direction of like the crazy, like that weird hobbly lady comes into his like room at night with his like sleep cocoa.
He reads his coffee in the morning, going like, "We're all gonna die. Good night."
Indeed.
Have you read the coffee this morning? It says like, share, and subscribe.
or don't. It's.
We don't mind either way, to be honest with you. Like, we're not that pushy. We're not a professional outfit, and I don't think we'll ever will be. So, yeah, I mean,
no with our content.
No, but thanks for dropping by, though. All the same, we appreciate your custom. All the same, you know.
Indeed. Sadly, the YouTube algorithm just does not favor what we provide.
Yeah, it's blatantly racist against the Irish, is what we're trying to say there. Literally, they just said like, "Oh, we have Jacksepticeye. We don't need another Irish YouTube and channel. Fuck that." Like, you know.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway, good night, Mr. Parker.